Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys an AFK Abyssal Demon Guide, which is updated for 2020. There's a few new things that I want to mention in this guide that I haven't in my previous one, which I made in 2019. So it's just going to be an updated version of that, and I'm going to show you the most efficient ways to kill Abyssal Demons now in 2020. So first off, we're going to look at the requirements and recommendations. So required is 85 Slayer, you're going to need that to kill Abyssal Demons. Recommended though, we have 71 Agility, that is for the shortcut to get to the best spot to kill them, which is on the roof of the Slayer Tower. You can kill them without 71 Slayer, there's a few other spots, but you won't be able to go to this best spot. Then also 80 plus combat stats, this is recommended because Abyssal Demons, they're a fairly high Slayer creature, so you will need some decent stats. But if you do have 85 Slayer, you'll most likely have 80 plus combat stats. 92 plus prayer is really helpful for Soul Split, of course, and Soul Split will be extremely useful for the AFK method that I will be showing you guys. And of course, if you do have 95 prayer, Turmoil is going to be pretty useful as well. And of course, along with 92 or 95 prayer, you will need the temple at Senescen's quest completed to unlock curses. Also, 96 Herblore for overloads. It's obviously going to be pretty helpful and you will want to use them here. The Spring Cleaner 2000 plus is extremely useful. It makes this method a lot more AFK because you'll automatically disassemble or alch the salvage that is dropped. And then the gem bag upgrade, this is super useful because you can pick up all of the gems that Abyssal Demons drop, and they do drop a lot of them. The attuned ectoplasmider along with the demon horn necklace, this is going to be used for the really AFK method, and it is super great. It makes this method very, very good, and you also get some prayer XP along with it, so you will want those two things. However, I'm going to be showing you guys another method that does not require those two items. So now we're going to look at the gear setup with the attuned ectoplasmider. So first off, there's going to be a melee setup and a magic setup. We will start by looking at the melee setup. So as you can see, I'm just using Bandos armor along with some Masterwork plate legs. Now I do have the Masterwork plate legs because it does have Scavenging 4 on it. This is an extremely useful invention perk to use at Abyssal Demons because you get a lot of kills per hour, which means you'll also get a lot of invention components if you do have Scavenging. The big thing here though, you will want a Noxious Scythe or one of the alternatives, which is a Dragon Rider Lance or a Masuda's War Spear. Now with the attuned ectoplasmider, you can see that I do have that equipped, and then I also have the Demon Horn Necklace. You're going to want these two combined. That is because the Demon Horn Necklace will allow you to restore prayer whenever the ashes are scattered, and the attuned ectoplasmider automatically scatters the ashes after you kill an Abyssal Demon. So basically you will have unlimited prayer with this method. The Demon Horn Necklace will require level 90 Dungeoneering, so some of you guys might not have that, but you can use the Split Dragon Tooth Necklace as an alternative. This will only require level 60 Dungeoneering. You won't gain as much prayer points, but it still will allow you to gain quite a few, and you may not need to have any. And you may not need to bring any prayer potions, especially if you are just using Soul Split, then you won't drain that much prayer anyway. Now we're going to look at the Mage Setup. So as you can see, I'm just using Subjugation. This is perfectly fine armor to use. And then also I have the Demon Horn Necklace and the attuned ectoplasmider, of course. I do have my rune bag, which does have my runes. Just use whatever the best spell is that you can cast. That should be fine. I'm using the Noxious Staff, which is a pretty good weapon to bring. Just bring your strongest mage weapon. And then also for the aura for both setups, we have the Vampirism aura, which is a pretty solid aura to bring. You can also bring a damage boosting aura if you want instead. Then, of course, bring the Luck of the Dwarves just for a little bit of extra luck. For a summoning familiar, you can bring a Beast of Burden if you, for example, don't have Soul Split or you don't have Turmoil or you're taking a lot of damage. Then definitely bring a Beast of Burden with some extra food, just in case you can't actually withstand all the hits from the Abyssal Demons. But otherwise, you can bring a combat familiar like a Steel Titan, Ripper Demon. Even if you want to bring a Dusk Devil with these scrolls, that will allow you to hit multiple targets. That would be a pretty good option as well, although it will cost you a little bit of extra money. And so now finally we're just going to take a look at the inventory. I have my Enhanced Excalibur as well as the Spring Cleaner and Gem Bag. You're going to want to bring some aggression potions. I have one prayer potion just in case, and then the overloads and a little bit of food, and that should be fine. And so now looking at the gear setup without the attuned ectoplasmider. So as you can see, it's basically the same. We did swap the necklace for the blood amulet of fury. You can also use an amulet of souls, although this will degrade a lot faster and it is a lot more expensive to repair. So depending on if you're taking a lot of damage, you can use the amulet of souls. It would be a better necklace to bring. But just in terms of saving some costs, I'm going to be using the Blood Amulet of Fury, and then also in the pocket slot, I do have my Illuminated God Book. This is a pretty good option to use. It'll just give you a little bit more DPS. Now, the only other difference with this setup is the inventory. So as you can see, I bring a ton of prayer potions, and you won't be able to stay here as long. So that is the only downside without the attuned ectoplasmider. You also won't gain any prayer XP. But other than that, everything is basically the same. You will want to bring a Vampirism Aura or a Penance Aura just to gain some more and extra prayer points, and this may actually allow you to stay here for a pretty long time if you are using this aura. Next, I just want to take a look at some of the useful perks for Abyssal Demons. First off, the Demon Slayer perk. This is obviously one of the best that you can have. It just gives a 7% damage boost on demons, and abyssal demons do count, so great perk to use. Also scavenging, it gives free invention components. You're going to be killing a lot of abyssal demons, upwards of 1200 per hour, which is really good, so you should get a lot of invention components from this. Also, if you do have Relentless, this is another really great perk to use. It stacks your damage boost after you kill an enemy. Since you are going to be killing abyssal demons constantly, you're constantly going to have this damage boost, and it will go up to 7.5%, depending on what rank of Relentless you do have. And then also Impatient, obviously a really good perk to use. It will give you more adrenaline, so you can use those thresholds and ultimates a little bit faster. Next, I want to take a quick look at the combat settings. So as you can see, we have it set to Revolution. Also, you will want your Revolution size pretty high. I have mine at 12, so that means that the first 12 abilities in my action bar, they will automatically trigger. And then below that, you can see that I'm automatically triggering basic, threshold, and ultimate abilities, which is what you will want to do. Now we're going to look at the action bars. So the action bar setup, as I said, you're going to want Revolution++, so all abilities can be triggered automatically. I do have an example action bar for both melee and magic. So as you can see with the melee action bar, we are going to start with Meteor Strike, which is an ultimate ability, followed by Hurricane and Quake, which are thresholds, and then Cleave. All four of these abilities are AoE abilities, so you'll be hitting more than one target at once. So basically, no matter what, you will want those 4 abilities at the beginning of your action bar. And then we also have Smash, Tuska's Wrath, Sever, and then Sacrifice, which aren't as important, but they still are some pretty solid basic abilities. Looking at the magic setup, we're going to start with Sunshine. This is a really good ultimate ability, followed by Tsunami, which is another ultimate ability, but it does do AoE damage. Then we have Dragon Breath, Corruption Blast, Chains, which are all AoE abilities. And then we have Wild Magic, Sonic Wave, and Sacrifice to fill out the last few spots. I would say the first 5 spots in this action bar, those are all really good abilities to use against abyssal demons. And then the rest, they aren't really as important, but these are basically just some examples of some good action bars that you guys should be using at abyssal demons if you are going to be using the AFK method that I will be showing you. Now there are just a few more things that I do want to mention. First is the Spring Cleaner setup. So as you can see, we are going to be high alching all of the rune salvage as well as the huge and large adamant salvage. And high alching the salvage with your Spring Cleaner does cost 1 spring, so make sure it is charged. The rest of the salvage, we are going to be disassembling them automatically, and this does not cost a spring, so basically you are going to be getting a lot of basic components for free. And so the last thing that I do want to mention before we look at the actual method is the loot system. You are definitely going to want to activate area loot, so make sure you do have this ticked off. You can go to gameplay and then in the item drops section, go to loot systems and tick on the area loot. This will allow you to pick up all the loot in one swift go, and it'll make it a lot more AFK. So Abyssal Demons are located in the Slayer Tower. First off, when you get here, you can talk to Marcus and just pick up an Abyssal Demon Slayer contract. This will allow you to gain a little bit of Slayer XP off task, and then you'll also get a pretty nice cash reward just for killing 200 of them. So Abyssal Demons, they are going to be located in the top floor of the Slayer Tower. Now, if you don't have 71 agility, you can kill the Abyssal Demons in this room here. However, if you do go to the roof, it is a much better location. Now, that agility shortcut does require 71 agility. This spot may be crowded, so you may need to hop worlds until you find an open one. Once you do find an open one, though, you will want to stand approximately here and then just drink your aggression potion as well as your overload if you do have that. Next, you'll just want to turn on Soul Split, turn on Turmoil if you do have it, and then there you go. You're basically AFK for 5 minutes now. You'll just need to pick up drops every once in a while. And as you can see, I do have the attuned Ectoplasmider and Demon Horn necklace, so I basically have unlimited prayer here. I'm also gaining around 75,000 prayer XP per hour, which is pretty solid for a AFK combat method where you also make some money. And so anyway, that is basically it for this method. It is really, really simple. There is a lot of setup required that you guys didn't need to know, but that is basically it. You can just camp here and pick up all the drops every once in a while. When your aggression potion does run out, just drink another one, keep your overloads active, and you should be fine. You really shouldn't go down in health at all. They do drop some extra shark if you do need that. So depending on your combat level and if you have curses or not, then you may need some food. I also just wanted to quickly show you guys the Mage Setup. It is basically the exact same, except you are going to be using your Mage Setup, of course. Just use any spell that you would like. Fire Blast is a good one. You can also use the Ancient Magics. Blood Barrage is really good because you will heal a little bit as well. It is a little bit more expensive using Blood Runes, but if you are someone who is taking quite a bit of damage, Blood Barrage would be a good option because it will allow you to heal some as well. Then just use that Mage action bar that I showed you guys, and you should be just fine with this method. Just make sure your aggression potion is always active as well as your overload. And basically you should be just fine. Pick up the drops every few minutes and you'll be making quite a bit of money and XP at the same time. So next I want to take a look at the XP breakdown. So based on 1200 kills per hour, which is 100 kills every 6 minutes, you should be able to get around 800,000 combat XP, 260,000 constitution XP, and 75,000 prayer XP. Now, 1200 kills per hour is pretty average. You could definitely push this maybe up to 1400 or 1500 if you are using all of the best perks and your best in slot gear. But for an average player, you should assume to get around 1200 kills per hour. And you will be making some money off of this as well. You'll be making around 4 mil per hour. And most of the money will be made off of the Spring Cleaner, just alching all of your drops. Overall, this is an exceptional method. You can see you get a ton of combat XP per hour, even some prayer XP if you are using the attuned Ectoplasmider. And then you're also making around 4 mil per hour. So it is a really great Slayer creature to kill, especially if you are looking for something a little bit more AFK. Anyway, guys, I really hope you found this guide helpful. If you have any questions about anything or any suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. And I really hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.